Hey everyone, welcome back. So, I was scrolling through my feed the other day, which is always a dangerous thing to do on a Tuesday night, and I just had this sudden, heavy feeling. Like everyone I know is hitting these massive milestones while I'm just here trying to figure out what to make for dinner. Have you ever had that feeling where you just feel behind in life?
Oh, every single day. I call it the invisible clock syndrome. It's like there's this phantom timer ticking away in the background, and if you haven't checked off certain boxes by a certain age, the alarm goes off and tells you that you've failed. It's exhausting, honestly.
Exhausting is the perfect word for it. It's funny because when we were kids, life felt so linear. You go to first grade, then second, then third. Everything is laid out for you. But then you hit your 20s or 30s and suddenly the map disappears and everyone is running in different directions. Some people are getting married, some are starting companies, some are moving across the world. And you're just standing there wondering if you missed a memo.
Right, and social media is the absolute worst fuel for this fire. We're essentially comparing our behind-the-scenes footage, the messy house, the career doubts, the laundry, with everyone else's highlight reel. You see a LinkedIn post about a promotion or an Instagram photo of a new house and your brain instantly goes, why am I not there yet? But we forget that we aren't seeing the 90% of their life that is just as messy as ours.
That's such a good point. We're comparing our internal reality to someone else's external projection. But even knowing that, it's hard to shake the feeling that there's a right way to do life. Like, by 25, I should have a career path. By 30, I should have a mortgage. By 35, I should be an expert at something. Who even came up with these rules?
I think a lot of it is left over from previous generations. Our parents or grandparents lived in a world where things were a bit more predictable. You stayed at the same job for 40 years, you bought a house for the price of a ham sandwich, and you retired with a gold watch. But the world we live in now is so much more fluid. We change careers 4 or 5 times, the economy is different, the milestones are moving targets now.
And yet, we still judge ourselves by those old standards. I was talking to a friend recently who was 32. She's incredibly talented. She's traveled the world. She's a wonderful person. But she felt like a failure because she's single and still living with roommates. She completely ignored all the amazing things she has done because they didn't fit that specific traditional mold. It's like we have this narrow definition of success, and if we don't fit into it, we feel like we're losing a race.
But that's the thing, who are we racing against? If you're the only person on your specific track, you can't be behind. You're exactly where you are. I love the concept of the late bloomer. Have you ever looked into that? Some of the most successful people didn't find their thing until much later. Vera Wang didn't enter the fashion industry until she was 40. Samuel L. Jackson didn't get his big break until his mid-40s. Julia Child didn't even learn to cook French food until she was 37.
I love those examples. They remind me that life isn't a sprint. It's more like a very long, very weird marathon where the route changes every few miles. But it's hard when you feel like you're stuck in a waiting room. You're waiting for the career to start, or waiting for the relationship, or waiting to feel like an adult. I'm 30-something and I still look around for a real adult when something goes wrong.
I think we all do. I have a theory that nobody actually feels like a real adult. We're all just kids in bigger bodies trying to figure out taxes and how to fix a leaky faucet. But I think the feeling of being behind often comes from a lack of self-trust. We don't trust our own timing. We think if we aren't following this standard schedule, we must be doing something wrong.
So how do we stop? How do we stop that internal dialogue that says we're failing? I've tried the whole gratitude journal thing and it helps, but sometimes that voice is just so loud.
I think it starts with radical honesty about what we actually want, not what we think we should want. A lot of the time, the things we feel behind on are things we don't even actually care about. Do you really want that high-stress management job, or do you just feel like you should have it because your peers do? Do you actually want to own a home right now, or do you just want the status that comes with it? When you strip away the shoulds, you realize your own path actually looks pretty good.
That's powerful. Strip away the shoulds. It's like cleaning out a closet full of clothes that don't even fit you anymore. You're holding on to these expectations that aren't yours. I also think we need to celebrate the non-linear wins. Like maybe you didn't get a promotion this year, but you finally learned how to set boundaries. Or maybe you didn't buy a house, but you survived a really difficult mental health year. Those are massive milestones, but they don't get a congrats post on LinkedIn.
Exactly. Internal growth is so much harder to measure than external growth, so we tend to ignore it. But internal growth is what actually sustains you. If you get the house and the job, but you're still miserable inside, were you ever really ahead? Probably not. You were just well packaged.
Well packaged, but miserable. That's a scary thought. I think there's also something to be said for the gift of being behind. When things don't happen for you right away, you develop a level of resilience and self-awareness that people who hit every milestone easily might never have to learn. You have to get comfortable with yourself when you don't have the external badges of honor to hide behind.
That is so true. It forces you to build a foundation that isn't based on your job title or your relationship status. It's like you're building your house on rock instead of sand. It takes longer, sure, but it's not going to fall down during the first storm.
I also want to touch on the idea of seasons. Nature doesn't bloom all year round. A tree isn't behind in the winter just because it doesn't have leaves. It's in a different phase of its cycle. It's resting, it's gathering energy, it's growing roots deep underground where nobody can see them. I think humans have winter seasons too.
I love that. We're so obsessed with evergreen productivity. We want to be blooming 365 days a year, but that's not biological. Sometimes a year where you feel like you're doing nothing is actually the year you're growing the most on the inside. You're resting, you're processing, you're preparing for the next spring.
It's hard to remember that though, when everyone else seems to be in their summer phase though. You see the flowers, you see the fruit, and you're just there like, I'm a twig right now. I am a literal brown twig.
A twig with potential. But seriously, if you're listening to this and you feel like a twig, just know that the roots are the most important part. If you're taking care of your mental health, if you're being kind to yourself, if you're staying curious about the world, you're not behind. You're just in a deep rooting season.
Staying curious is such a huge part of it. When we feel behind, we tend to close off. We get bitter or defensive. But if we stay curious, like, I wonder what my life will look like in 5 years, instead of I'm terrified of what it looks like now, it changes the energy. It becomes an adventure again instead of a race.
And let's be real, even the people who look like they have it all figured out, they're worried about something else. The person with the perfect career is worried they missed out on traveling. The person who traveled for 10 years is worried they'll never have a career. Comparison is a game where nobody wins.
It really is. There's no finish line where someone hands you a trophy and says, congrats, you did life the fastest. Because the finish line is, well, the end. And nobody's in a rush to get there.
Exactly. So if the end is the same for everyone, the only thing that matters is how much you actually enjoyed the walk. Did you like the view? Were you kind to the people you met? Did you find things that made you laugh? That's the real metric of a life well lived.
I think that's a perfect place to leave it. If you're feeling behind today, just take a deep breath. Close the apps, look at your own feet. They're right where they're supposed to be. You're not late for your own life.
You're right on time. Every detour, every slow season, it's all part of the story. And the story is a lot more interesting when it has a few plot twists, right?
Definitely. No one wants to read a book where everything goes perfectly on every page. That would be a boring book.
Agreed. Well, thanks for talking this through with me. I feel a lot better about my twig status now.
Me too. Thanks for listening, everyone. We'll see you in the next one.
Stay kind to yourselves. Bye.